Honestly, what? So annoying. So annoying. Well, okay. I think we're up and running. Okie dokie. Hello, good morning, and welcome to the Virtual Racers Club. We're back for another set of races, but this time something a little bit different, because we are back with round 6 of the Renault Megane Trophy. So, what is the Renault Megane Trophy, you may ask? Well, I'll be more than happy to tell you. The Renault Megane Trophy, or RMT for short, is a one-make championship using the Renault Megane Trophy Group 4 exclusively. The drivers will have to battle hard, going wheel to wheel in 2-minute, 30-minute feature races for 10 weeks. Well, we've had 6 weeks and it is turning out to be an absolute cracker. With drivers will need to use the mandatory racing medium compound at some point over the 2 races. So a strategy will be required on when to use the slower tyre. And as we mentioned, we're at round 6 and we are at Alsace village today in the beautiful French countryside, and it's absolutely beaming out there. It is glorious in all of its beautiful weather. So, for the Renault Megane Trophy, as we said before, it's a double feature, which means that they'll be racing for 2 30-minute races in which the mediums will have to be used at some point. The format for this is they will have a 10-minute qualifier, which they already had. They're all lined up ready behind me. Then they'll race for 2 30-minute races, with race 1 being the fastest first from qualifying, in which they have a free choice of tyre, whether it's softs, mediums or hards, or the intermediates or the wets if it ever gets that bad. And then race 2 will be 30 minutes again, but it will be reverse grid from the previous race results. And again, softs, medium and hards and the wet tyres are available, but at some point they will have to use the medium tyre. It doesn't matter if they use it in race 1 or race 2, they just need to get it used at least once. Apart from that, everything is all free to choose tyre wise. So let's take a look at the standings after 5 rounds, and as I said before, it's turning out to be very, very juicy indeed, because in first we have Homesick Alien on 186 points. In second we have Racer Brown on 172, so there's a bit of a buffer between those two. Is Homesick Alien able to keep up that buffer today, I wonder? In third we have Guesty on 140, so he's a little bit behind the 2 main protagonists for the championship, but it could all turn around if bad results go their way. In fourth we have Bazza on 137 points, doing quite well in his championship. He's not all that far behind Guesty, so will Bazza be able to make up those 3-point difference in this race? In fifth we have Ensign Hewitt, or Big Dan, on 131 points, just 6 points behind Bazza. Those two having quite the battles in the championship so far, in the Renault Megane Trophy and the WRX, so always need to keep an eye on them. In sixth we have Mrs. Guesty on 127 points, not all that far behind Big Dan, so he's got a shoulder to look over. In seventh we have Perch on 124, just 3 points separating him from Mrs. Guesty. That's going to be interesting to see. And in 8th, we have Pat on 101 points, so a bit of a buffer between himself and Perchon. In 9th, we have Reader on 92 points. Not that far behind Pat, there's another battle there to ensure on. In 10th, we have Silver Star on 69 points, but he has missed 2 rounds, or Pat's missed 1, as has Big Dan, so that's probably where the point deficits are. So Silver Star missing 2 rounds, so when the drop stores kick in, you might be able to gain some places there. In 11th, we have Kale. Now, Kale was a bit of a late arrival to the championship. He's only used the 3 round a lot, and he missed 1 round as well, so is Kale going to be able to make up any form of ground in these last few races? In 12th, we have Electric on 45 points. Like Kale, he's a bit of a late comer into this, but when the drop cores kick in, those two will definitely be fighting amongst the back of the crowd. In 13th, we have Bunny. He's missed quite a few. I think that might be it for Bunny, unless he turns up at the last minute. In 14th, we have Skyjacker on 6 points. He's a bit of a no-shower as well. Maybe he's had other priorities, I don't know. And then in 15th, we have Harv, who has failed to score a single point. But I do think he's been having trouble getting onto the grid, so maybe no fault of his own. So, with the championship heating up, how has qualifying turned out today, I wonder, as we spin around? And there we go. A little bit far away there, so we'll move over to the centre. And look at those. Isn't that beautiful? Wouldn't you just love to just be over there and just admire the beauty of this? It's absolutely astonishing. I wonder if this is a place in real life. Questions for later. But anyway, on to the main point, and in pole it is Homesick Alien. So that's another point into the Homesick's bag, getting a bit more of a buffer between himself and Racer Brown. And in second, we have Guesty, not letting those two get away all that much. So is he going to be a threat in today's race? I do wonder. Then in third, we have Racer Brown, not letting Homesick Alien get much of an advantage, but is he going to be able to put a dent in the buffer between himself and Homesick Alien? And in fourth, we have Electric. It's a good start for Electric. Is he going to be a threat today, I wonder, in his own championship battles? Then in sixth, wow, I've lost it already. How bad is that? No, it's fifth. In fifth, it's Bazza. Bazza qualifying quite well there. I'm sure he'll be pretty pleased with that one. And then in seventh is Big Dan, back from his little break. So is he going to make up ground today in the battle with Bazza, I wonder? Then in eighth, we have the first of the fast lane conveyor drivers. It is Perchon. He'll be quite happy with that. I'm sure he will. And in eighth, we have the second fast conveyors of Redo. So Perchon being able to get the better of the two. I've just noticed there's a chrome paint. Interesting. Redo coming second for the two fast laners, but you know he's quick, so he'll probably make up ground there. Then in ninth, we have Mrs. Guesty. Looking beautiful in the purple monster there. In 10th, we have Pat in the Renault F1 replica. Try saying that 5 times fast. And then in 12th, we have Kale. So Kale not off to the best start here, but as we said before, it's his first time back in quite a while. He might be a little bit rusty, so we will have to see on whether he can shake that dust. As I said before, get a bit of WD-40 on it, mate, and you'll be fine. So, there is our grid. Now let's see how this pans out as we go back outside and we reset. as I also reset myself. So let's get this replay on the go and the lights on. So who's go? Oh, we'll click to Homesick. I'm too far back, and 5, and they held for a while, and there we go. So Homesick Alien manages to get away quite well. He's covering off the inside already from Guesty, covering the inside line. It's a clever move. It's always easily done, but it looks like they've all gotten through quite cleanly, and Guesty is already on the attack of Homesick Alien, wanting to get things done quickly and early doors. See, Homesick Alien is on the mediums. I haven't checked the tyres again, so we'll have to quickly lit through. So Homesick Alien and Guesty's going, look, on the inside, making Homesick go all the way around, and now Guesty takes the lead, and he is on the soft, so that will be a good reason to why. So Guesty takes the lead from Homesick Alien, who's on the mediums. We've got Racer Brown on the mediums. We have Electric on the mediums. We have Bazza on the mediums, who's just been overtaken by Perchon. He's on the softs. So looking for an early getaway here is Perchon. Reno is also on the softs. Big Dan on the mediums. Kale's moved up to 9th already on the racing mediums, so he's getting a move on already. We've got Pat on the mediums and Mrs. Guesty on the softs. Not to a best start, and oh dear, that's Pat going wide. Not properly warmed the mediums up yet. He's fighting for control, but he's got it back under control, and he can get going again. Meanwhile, at the front, Guesty is starting to make a bit of a gap between himself and Homesick Alien. Homesick Alien diving on the inside. Guesty having to go wide a little bit there, and going wide is Racer Brown. Racer Brown maybe not warming up the mediums as well just as yet, and he needs to keep an eye on his back because Electric is hanging on, using every little bit of inch of the track. You see there, Guesty just breaking the toe of Homesick Alien. As we come to this tricky little chicane, it's taken very slowly. As you can see there, they're down to just over 50 miles an hour. Electric banging the barriers a little bit there, but he seems to be perfectly okay. And carrying on as we go. So at the moment, after just 2 laps already, we've got Guesty in the lead, Homesick in 2nd, Racer Brown in 3rd, Electric in 4th. Further down we have Reno, who's managed to make up quite a few places. He's the biggest gainer so far, so he'll be quite happy with that. He's got Bazza close behind him, who's got Big Dan close behind him as well, so their championship fight is well and truly on the way already. Got Kale moving up to 8th now. He's absolutely on a charge here on those racing mediums, wanting to make up quite a bit of ground, it would appear to be. Mrs. Guesty in 9th. We've got a yellow. Who's it is gone? It's Racer Brown. Oh no. This is the least thing he needs. He drops down to last. Poor Racer Brown. I wonder if he lost the back end there. We won't rewind it because it's painful enough to see it the first time when he does it, so we will spare him the agony of seeing it all again. So that means Electric moves up into 3rd, and he'll be quite pleased with that one, but he's got Reno approaching thick and fast. But don't forget, Reno is on the soft, so he'll be taking advantage of that little bit of extra grip. You can see the tyre smoking there from Electric there. He's punishing those mediums very, very hard there. The front left tyre is not going to last that much longer. Keeps pushing it as hard as it does. He'll overheat it and burn it all off. It's not what he needs, and it's definitely hampering his progress because Reno is not all that far behind him already. Reno on an absolute charge and a half here. Are we going to get Reno podium, I wonder? He does seem to be fairly quick. He's having a look at Reno already, but he thinks better of it. Tucks back in and is ready to strike on Electric the moment he smells an opportunity. And they both clout the barrier a little bit there. So that barrier is a bit of a tricky one on the outside, but they all seem to get through quite well. They're all spacing out a little bit so far. Homesick Alien not letting Guesty get away too quickly. We're just managing those mediums to make sure they're getting through the entire race. We've seen this doing before. Homesick Alien does like to look after a set of tyres, so when the softs wear out, he can properly strike, and I'm sure Guesty will be well aware of that one as well. He'll be probably wanting to gain as much gap of himself and Homesick Alien as best as he can, so when the softs die out, he'll have a bit of a comfy buffer to help him out there. And so far, Electric in third. He's currently holding off Reno quite well. Reno unable to break the defence of Electric. But the question is, can Electric maintain this pace, or is Reno really going to give him a fight on his hands? He's close up to the back end of Electric. He's having a look on the inside. He's diving on the inside, but just misses him at the last second. Well played there, gents. Very well cleaned. Beautiful stuff. See Bazza as well, holding out in fourth, who's got Big Dan for company, who's also got a Kale going up on the inside, and there we go. Kale is up to sixth already. Starting last on the grid, he's moved up to sixth. Is Kale looking to do a last to first challenge, I wonder? I highly doubt it. Not in a league like this, especially when you've got chaps like Racer Brown, Guesty and Homesick Alien in front, but Racer Brown already out of the picture, so it could be, but Homesick Alien will definitely make him fight for it. And Big Dan down to seventh now, starting well, but he'll need to close up that gap to himself and Bazza. They do have their own little championship fight on their hands. These two really do love having a bit of a scrap with one another, so they're probably loving every little second of it. Further back we've got Perch on. He's dropped quite a bit. He probably won't be too happy with that. Letting Reno get away. He's also on the softs as well, so probably not be able to find the pace in the Renault Megane in this round. To be fair, Alsace is quite a tricky track, really tricky track to master. Maybe he's not quite had as much practice in as he would like. Mrs. Guesty in ninth as well. Not the best start for her, but she can always make her way back in. She needs to be careful with those softs though. We've got Racer Brown now up to 10th. Now just probably on damage limitation for him after that. I'm assuming it is a spin for Racer Brown, so he'll be in damage limitation mode and try to make sure he minimises the amount of points Homesick Alien will gain on him if things stay as they are now. And Pat down in 11th. Maybe this is another track he's not a fan of, but you've got to give credit to Pat where it's due. He carries on regardless of the result, and he's probably always got a smile on his face regardless. Meanwhile, Reno, there we go. Reno has overtaken Electric for third place. You saw the smoke burning off of Electric tyres there. As you can see, even despite being on the mediums, he has used that front left quite a considerable amount. We're only coming up to 8 minutes in this race, and he's already gone through half of that front left tyre. So Electric, should I say, really punishing those medium tyres, trying to maximise as much pace out of it as he can. Reno on the softs, he's not that much better off, but don't forget the softs will wear out quicker than the mediums, so I have a sneaky suspicion that Electric is going to be a sitting duck when these three catch him up, because they are catching up quite quickly. We've got Bazza, Kale and Dan all in a little trainer themselves. They've managed to look after those mediums a lot better than Electric has, so Bazza will no doubt will be looking to have a move on Electric at some point. We can see Big Dan in the toe of Kale. He just flipped out there, but thought better of it. Sticks into the toe. Let's look around the outside. Can't quite get it done there, and they both go a little deep. Dan goes a deeper, even more so, and he's onto the grass. He's fighting for it. Yeah, he's got it back under control, losing a bit of ground there to Kale, but no doubt he will get that one back as well. We'll stick with these guys for the time being. These guys appear to be the main fight on track at the moment, so we'll stick with them. And is that Kale getting past Bazza? It is. So Kale has moved up to 5th now, and no doubt Electric will be in his crosshairs now, because Electric really struggling with those medium tyres. I think it is this main corner here. We have a look. He's going around it, as we can see that front left tyre, absolutely, there it is. There is the smoke. Electric really struggling in that corner. I don't think his mediums are going to last a couple of laps more. We're only lap 5, and the mediums are already heavily worn, so Electric's going to struggle with this one, especially with Cale not that far behind him as well. It's not going to be a good day for Electric. Gaps are just opening up, and that's Renault spinning. Oh, no, Renault must have lost it on the back end, must have touched some grass or something, and all that momentum is gone, and he's dropped to 6th. Oh, poor Renault. You see that front left soft is completely crying for mercy. There's not much meat left on it, but now we can see this really long train of cars, and this is 3rd all the way down to 8th. So we definitely will stick with these guys for the while being, as Electric now in 3rd in a podium position, but I suspect it's not going to last much longer, as Cale is really on a charge. Is Cale going to get a podium here, I wonder? 11th to 3rd would be quite the achievement, but we've seen Cale in the past. He can be a real rocket when he really wants to put his head down. Can be really stick it to even some of the fastest racers here at the Virtual Racers Club. And maybe he has brushed off the rust that's on his racecraft, maybe he's just a particular fan of Alsace. I don't know. As we can see, he's caught up to the back of Electric already. Going deep a little bit, looking on the outside. He can't get it done, but this is the corner that Electric seems to be weaker on. So is he going to make advantage? There we go. We see Electric go deep into the corner. Cale slips up in the inside and up into 3rd, but Electric's coming back in now. See Renault smoking the tyre as well. That's probably where he's burnt his tyres off as well. So that long right-hander really catching some of these guys out, as they're overheating the tyre going through that corner, and Renault now got Big Dan for company. I feel that Big Dan is probably going to make light work, and as we see, they've all gone onto the grass. They can't get that. They can't be too confident, because he's got Perch on behind him as well. And behind him, we're going to have a fast approaching Racer Brown, who's now up to 9th. He's now overtaken Mrs. Guesty. Mrs. Guesty so far having good pace. Probably just having her own little race at the moment. Probably didn't race right. And there we can see Renault is pitting. That front left is completely destroyed already. Just coming up to over 12 and a half minutes, and that front left is cooked. It's just a fresh set of tyres for him. Out he goes. Is he going to be able to get ahead of Mr. Racer Brown? Racer Brown having to really go deep there to avoid contact there, but no harm done. So now Racer Brown on the chase for Renault. And we've got Pat at the back as well. He's managing it okay so far. He's looking after his mediums, so maybe he'll take advantage of it when everybody's tyres are all done and dusted. But meanwhile, at the front, there we go. Guesty has completely worn out that front left, and Homesick Alien is now on the charge. You have a feeling that this is the corner that everybody's currently struggling with. I wonder if Guesty's struggling with it as well. He's going round. Yeah, they're all struggling with it, and Homesick Alien as well. Just having a look around the inside. He can't do it. He switches to the outside again. Can't seem to find a way through the defence of Guesty, but he has got the tyres, whereas Guesty hasn't. So it's just going to be a question of when Homesick Alien pulls that trigger. We'll stick with him for the time being, because this is for the race lead. You just know with Homesick Alien he's going to strike any minute. He's having a look on the inside. He hasn't got the pace though. Tucks back into Guesty, just waits patiently, and as you can see, Guesty went wide a little bit there, and he's managed to, he's got a little slow, and there we go. Guesty is going in. He's going to change those softs. So Homesick Alien now takes the lead, but the question is, where is Guesty going to come out? It looks like it's quite a short pit stop here, so maybe just having a change of tyres wouldn't be that painful at all. As we can see, he's managed to get out in front of Cale, and Cale going deep there. Oh, that's not what he needs. And Bazza's now up to third. Where has Bazza come from? Electric must have dropped. He's now down in fifth. So he must have made a small mistake somewhere. I'm not 100% sure. That front left tyre completely cut, but he's still with Kale. But somehow Bazza's managed to get ahead of Electric as well. And taking advantage of Kale going off there, Bazza will be happy with that one. He's managing his mediums quite well. 15 minutes into the race, he's doing quite well. Got Kale in fourth, who's been hounded by Electric. A little bit of paint trading here and there, and Electric seems to have made the move stick, but we're now coming up to a round corner where Kale's got the inside, and there we go. Kale takes back fourth place. And these two really don't want to be fighting each other that much, because not far behind them is Perchon and Big Dan. You just see him there in the background. Too much fighting, and they're going to be in their clutches. And Perchon's managed to get himself ahead of Big Dan as well. So, position changes that we have missed. Let's see. Medium of Electric now nearly completely dead. You can see the tyre completely overheating there. Perchon having a look on the outside. Electric slams the door shut. All fair. We can see he's going deep there. That tyre really doesn't want to work with him. Perchon just having a look, but he hasn't got the pace out of the corner as they now head up the hill. Perchon and Homesick Alien's pitting as well. So Homesick Alien now pitting as well. On the mediums, is he going to go on to the softs, I wonder? But is Guesty going to take the lead? He's gone through, and yes, we do. Guesty retakes the lead. But is Homesick Alien going to get out? Not all that far behind him. So Homesick Alien sticking with the mediums. Electric's gone. No, Kale's gone in, sorry. So has Perchon. So they've seen that it's not really that slow of a pit stop. Maybe pit stops are the way to go for this one. But then again, trying to make these tyres last half an hour around this tyre punishing track is definitely a tall order. We see Mrs. Guesty going in as well. Is she going to put the softs on, or is she going to go for a set of mediums and get those out of the way as we just have a look? And yes, there we go. She has gone on to the mediums, has managed to stay ahead of Pat as well. So Mrs. Guesty getting those mediums out of the way. Racer Brown also pitting. He's gone for a fresh set of softs. So it would appear that the pit stop is probably more advantageable here. It is anywhere else. Perchon in 8th. He's also pitted. Kale, we did see pit. He's gone on to a set of softs. Renault also on a set of softs as well. Big Dan now up to 5th. He's still on an old set of mediums, but he's giving Electric something to think about. Electric, I wonder if Electric's going to be. You can see that front right tyre just does not want to grip. It's going to cause him a lot of trouble. Literally, probably trying to deploy a smoke screen for Big Dan. If it weren't for the case of we know what the cause is. As hilarious as it can be, Big Dan having a look round the outside, can't get it done. Bazza all on his own. I wonder if he's going to be put so far at the front. We can see that Homesick Alien really giving Guesty something to think about. He is on the soft. Oh, he is on the softs. I thought he said it was the mediums. Well, I got it wrong then. So Homesick Alien with the tyre advantage. He's going for the switchback. Not quite working in this occasion, but give it time and he'll probably make it work. But Homesick Alien having the tyre advantage with Guesty on the mediums and Homesick on the softs. But Homesick has used the mediums already, so he's got the mandatory compound out the way. You can see him switching left and right, trying to look for a way around. Guesty's got. Is he going to go around the outside? He can't quite make it done. But did Guesty go off the track there? I don't think he did. He's hanging on the inside, but then we see Homesick Alien going for the switchback again, but hasn't got quite the pace. As we come down to another right-hander, and Homesick Alien can't quite make it work. He's having another look, thinks better of it. He can't find a way past the Guesty defensive. He's having a look on the inside and he still can't make it done. let's have a look from Homesick Alien's point of view. We'll have a look round this corner and just show you how punishing it is, even though it is banked. You see even Homesick Alien lighting up the tyre a little bit. No smoke coming from it, but it does get a little bit hot. That's how troubling this corner is. He's having a look on the inside. He's just, I guess he's keeping that door shut, not making any mistakes. So far, all is good in Guesty's world, but how long can he keep up this defence against Homesick Alien? Bazza's still doing well in third. He'll be happy with this one. Is he going to try and go all the way on those set of mediums? It might be a bit of an ask, but Bazza might be the one to do it. Big Dan as well, still doing well. He's got Renault for company, but Renault is on the fresher tyre, so I don't think Dan is really wanting to make a big fight over this. He doesn't. Oh no, he does pit. So Big Dan not wanting to take the mediums all the way. So maybe Big Dan, Renault, no, maybe Bazza will be the one to go all the way with it. I don't know. But credit where it's due. Big Dan, known for chewing a set of tyres. He's managed to do quite well with those mediums. He's got a set of softs on now, so he's going to be putting in some blistering times. Racer Brown in ninth, still on the recovery drive, but doing quite well. We'll see Mrs. Guesty for a while, and here she is. She's on her Billy Bobs at the moment, but she's keeping it in the right direction. 10.10 is going to be good for a good haul of points, as is Pat in 11th. He's coming into pit as well. He's had enough of those mediums as well. So, and I've just seen it now. Homesick Alien has taken the lead, so we will go back for this one because this is the lead, and it looks like it's round about here. We can see that just coming up the hill. This wasn't long after I left them, is it really? So Homesick Alien's now having a look round the outside. As we see, yeah, Big Dan's gone into the pits. That's how far back it was. Two of them going side by side up the hill, but Homesick Alien has the inside. This is probably where he's going to get the move done. Hard on the brakes into the corner, and there we go. But Guesty's going to have a look again. He's dived onto the inside, but Homesick Alien's the one with the momentum. Even though he's on the outside, he's got the stickier tyres, and he's managed to make the move stick, and there we go. Crosses over to block the inside line at the moment, and there we go. Homesick Alien now retaking the lead of race 1 of round 6. No doubt Guesty will give him a good fight for it, but I don't think he has the toys to completely battle with Homesick Alien. Maybe he could just stick with him though. A small mistake from Homesick Alien is all Guesty will need to take back that lead. Bazza all on his own. He's still managing them tyres. Just 8 minutes to go before the end of the first race, and I don't think the mediums are going to last. That front left is going to last another 8 minutes, but he's done well to get this far ahead. I'm wondering if he's leaving the pit stop a little too late, unless he doesn't plan to pit, in which he'll have to get a little bit of a move on before Kale catches him. He is on a fresh set of softs, so you know that he's going to be going like an absolute bullet. Renault in 5th as well, keeping him for company. He's already used a good chunk of those soft tyres, so I'm not quite sure Renault will be able to keep any meat left on those softs, because he is punishing them quite hard. But this is what Alsace does to you at this track. It punishes that front left tyre. As you can see, he's gone deep a little bit there, but he's recovered nicely. Big Dan on a fresh set of softs as well. I'm wondering if he was a little bit late with the pit stop as well. And Renault going in, I think that's a second time now. Yes, it is a second time. It must have been, surely. So Renault going in for another set. This is how quick the pit stop is here. It can really give you a boost. And now he's got the fresher tyre. He's got electric coming around the outside. They've got Racer Brown for company as well. Racer Brown will probably want to take advantage of this and do a real jump on his current standings at the moment, even though Renault is on the fresher tyre. Electric still giving him something to think about. We've got Racer Brown there as well. He's on a set of softs, so they're all on the softs at the moment. And there we go. Racer Brown goes in between the two of them and up into 7th. And Racer Brown currently with the fastest lap with a 2:02. Really on a flyer at the moment. So far, everybody's all just calming down a little bit now. It appears that these three are the only ones on track at the moment. Renault keeping Racer Brown in his crosshairs. Is Renault going to pull the trigger at some point to get himself ahead of Racer Brown? Racer Brown goes deep a little bit there. Renault sneaks up on the inside, but Racer Brown having the momentum out of the corner. I think it might be here where Renault really punishes his tyres. He's gone deep on the inside. It says he is ahead of Racer Brown, but Racer Brown now has the inside for the next two corners. We're coming up to the deep, hard right-hander. Renault's going to have the inside, and Renault's done it. So Renault overtaking Racer Brown for 7th place. And don't forget, Renault is on the fresher tyres, so he'll be taking advantage of the better grip. Electric down to 9th, and Electric's really burnt out those front tyres. No meat on them left whatsoever, so probably not going to pit this lap. It is only 5 minutes. I don't think he'll do the recovery he needs, so he'll be struggling for grip on that front end. This is Esti also doing well. She might be able to catch up Electric at the back end of this race. If he has no tyres left, she might be able to take advantage of it and move herself up to 9th. I think Pat's a little bit too far away to catch up a slowing Electric, but a small mistake from Electric and he could reap the benefits of it. But meanwhile at the front, Jose Alien now running away with it. He's got a good buffer between himself and Guesty. I've noticed Kale's gone up into 3rd as well, so those tyres really making works for him, and you have to commend Kale for this if he's able to bring it home in 3rd place from last on the grid to 3rd. A commendable drive. Bazza in 4th as well. He's worn out that front left, but he's the only one that hasn't pitted, so Bazza showing that a 1-stop and a no-stop may be either way to go, but he's going to be on the slow now. He's going to be on the back end. Maybe he didn't think that a pit stop would be viable, I don't know, but he's making it work so far. He's got a bit of a cushion between himself and Dan, but Dan's the one with all the work to do. Even though he has the fresher tyre, he's still got a gap to make up for, so Dan's going to have to push in order to catch up Bazza, but Bazza won't be helping himself with that one tyre that will be giving up the ghost soon. Perchon as well, still in 6th, ahead of his teammate Renault, who's got Racer Brown for company, although he has pulled away a little bit from Racer Brown. Maybe Racer Brown just looking after the tyres a little bit, or maybe waiting for a mistake from Renault so he can capitalise on it. It will appear that we're all just calming down now. It's just under 3 minutes left, and Racer Brown going into pit again. So he's had enough of those softs. So maybe he's thinking, I could gain some places now if just get some fresh boots on. Really put the hammer down, and maybe I can make up some lost places. So Racer Brown will be on the charge, but has he left it too late though? He's got a lot of work to do to catch up the crowd, but he might be thinking everyone's going to burn out their tyres now, so he could be in a good position for now. Electric down to 9th. What could have been, huh? My Irish friend, what could have been? But 9th place is still a good chunk of points, so it's nothing to be ashamed of. We're all pretty spaced out now, so just all the adrenaline now gone. They're all just settling into their grooves, and Just probably now waiting for the checkered flag to drop. Homesick Alien has taken the fastest lap. Maybe that's why Racer Brown has pitted. Maybe to see if he can break the 2 minute. I wonder if it can be done. Can Racer Brown break into... Can he break the 2 minute mark? That will be an extra point for Racer Brown. Because you do get a point for the fastest lap. Probably doesn't want to let Homesick run away completely with it. So maybe that is the strategy. Maybe he's given up chasing down and just thought, let's just get that fastest lap, because that will be one less point for Homesick Alien. Got Guesty in second, holding second quite well. There's quite a gap between himself and Kale, who's in third, but he'll be happy with that, I am sure. Kale must be happy with that third place. How's Bazza doing? And he's now got Perchon in fifth. I think, yeah, Perchon now in fifth, because Big Dan was in fifth, so Big Dan losing a position to Perchon there. Is that because of the tyres? No, they're on similar tyres, so it's not that. His lights are on fuel though, so Perchon's car a little bit lighter. Maybe Dan might be able to capitalise on it, but they don't want to be battling all that too much. Reno's not all that far behind him, so just one small mistake from these two and Reno will most likely capitalise on it. And there we go, the checker flag has dropped, and I think Pat has crossed the line in 11th place. Well done, Pat. And then the next will be our race winner. We'll come back to him shortly as we'll see how these three are getting on. And Perchon seems to be holding off Big Dan quite well, but Big Dan's got the inside coming through, the long right-hander. And there we go, Big Dan has taken fifth for the time being. But they've got Bazza for company as well. Is Bazza going to hold off? But we'll have to cut to the leader, who is about to cross the line. Homesick Alien taking race one win. Well done, Homesick Alien. Guesty coming home in second. He'll be pleased with that result. And there we go, Guesty in second, well done. Kale coming home in third. A commendable drive from Kale. 11th on the grid to third. You really can't argue with that one. Kale takes third, well done. Perchon has come back at Big Dan and they have dropped. And Bazza has dropped as well, so Perchon has stolen fourth. Right at the dead of the race. Well done, Perchon. Big Dan comes home in fifth, and Reno comes home in sixth as well. Bazza must have had an impact, and as you can see, he's got seventh there. Racer Brown, is he going to get the... No, he does not. Racer Brown comes home in eighth. Then next in line is Electric. So Racer Brown did get Electric at the end, but it's probably because he's got no front end tyre left. Electric won't care. Ninth is still good points for him. And the last to cross the line, but not last, is Mrs. Guesty for 10th. So there we go. Bit of a quiet one. There was still some battlings there, some good battlings to be had. But after it all, Homesick Alien is your winner of race one, who also takes the fastest lap, and further extending his buffer between himself and Racer Brown in the championship. Guesty in second. He'll definitely be pleased with that one. Scoring way more points than Racer Brown. Maybe he could have a good chat at second if Racer Brown has another bad result. Kale in third. The comeback of the race, well done to him. I'm sure he'll be very pleased with that one. Perchon surprised fourth. It didn't look like it was on the cards, but I guess the stars aligned and decided that it was going to be for him. Big Dan coming in fifth, and what a view of that. Rich Energy Renault Megane, another lovely livery. Rich Energy from Big Dan. It's lovely to see. He'll be happy with that fifth as well, especially Bazza coming home in seventh. Reno in sixth, getting bested by his teammate this time round, but it could be different in the next race. Bazza in seventh. I'm sure he won't be kicking himself a little bit. He picked up a bit of damage at the end and unfortunately dropped from 4th to 7th, but it's still going to be some points for him at the end of the day. Racer Brown coming home in 8th. That spin on early on in the race really set him back a little bit. Tried to go for the fastest lap at the end, but just couldn't quite get it done. Maybe it was the overtake on Electric on that lap that maybe cost him. Electric in 9th. He was running 3rd at one point, but just couldn't quite get the tyre deg down long enough for him to hold off that 3rd. Mrs. Guesty coming home in 10th. It's still going to be some good points for these guys at the back. And Pat in 11th. So what a set of races. Let's go back to that. What a glorious set of races. A little bit on the quiet side. There were a few battles on track. It was great to see, but this is the nature of this track. So with that in mind, I'm going to have to put this on charge because it's nearly dead. What the hell was that? Oh, that's the rig falling apart again. So let's move on to race 2 as I get it all set up for you. And it's Friday, so we know... Oh, I do like that. I do like that. Oh. Well, that's probably why. It's on Fernando Alonso's. Yeah, fair enough. So, let's move on to race 2. As I have a little bit of the liquid refreshment. Is this the right one? Yes, it is the right one. You know the drill now. So, I'll be quick about it. Well, there we go. I hope nobody spoiled it for yourself, because this is probably going to be an absolute cracker. So as we've mentioned before, this is now a reverse grid from the race wrong result. So we have Pat on pole on the sauce. We have Mrs. Guesty in second, also on the sauce. We have Electric in third on the sauce. Racer Brown on the sauce. Bazza on the softs. Rito on the mediums. Not sure if he used the mediums in the first race, but he obviously didn't, so there we go. And unless he's just fancied having a go with the mediums again. We've got Big Dan on the softs, got Perch on the mediums, Kale on the mediums, Guesty on the softs, and Homesick Alien on the softs. So Homesick looking to make up some grounds early on in this race on the softs. In fact, they all probably will be. So let's have a look and see how... Ooh. Haven't even started, and Pat's... And in fact... Oh. You're not going to let me... No, I didn't think so. Look, I just noticed that they're fresh on the grid, and their brakes are heating up. It's like, why? Why is that a thing? I can't even press it fast enough. There we go. It's like they haven't gone anywhere, and the brakes are on fire already. French construction for you. Anyway, let's get this race on with, shall we? So they're now on the grid, the lights are on, we're up to 5, the hammers are down, and off we go. And Pat gets a good start. Mrs. Guesty didn't get the best of starts. Already being hounded by Racer Brown, already on the inside. He's up to third already, and he's having a look on the inside of Electric. So Racer Brown wanting to really get away from the crowd already. probably wanting to make up a lot of ground, but he's been overtaken again by Electric. So Electric maintaining that second place. Mrs. Guesty dropping down into fourth. Not the best start for her. Bazza on fifth as well. He's moved up a little bit. We've got Rido in seventh. Looking on the inside line. Bazza, Big Dan, should I say, in seventh as well. Guesty's moved up to seventh already, and that's Rido having a spin. Where is poor Rido? Poor Rido. Not the best start for him, and there you go, get it in gear, and there we go. We've got Kale down in 10th already, not making the best of start. Perchon in 9th as well, he's dropped back a little bit. Homesick Alien and Guesty up to 8th and 7th respectively, so they're fully on the charge. But so far at the front, Electric has taken the lead from Pat, and Racer Brown's got past Pat as well. So Pat now down into 3rd. And now the chase begins for Racer Brown, wanting to make up for the slight poor result from race 1. He's going to be on it like a bullet. Pat and Baz are going wide, having a bit of a scrape of the barrier there as we come through this tricky chicane as the sun sets in the French mountains side. But Pat maintaining 3rd at the moment. He's got Mrs. Guesty for company, who's got quite the train behind her. They're all queuing up, waiting to go past, and there's Guesty having a look at Big Dan. So Guesty quite made the move on Big Dan, but there we go. It's now saying that he is in 6th, but is he going to steal in the inside? No, he can't. Guesty goes round on the outside, and there we go. And now Homesick Alien's having a look at Big Dan as well, but can't quite get the move done. So those two up to 6th and 8th, they're on an absolute charge. Kale is now up to 9th. Perchon has dropped a little bit, and poor Rido, who had that little spin, now just making up for lost ground. And we can see that Racer Brown has now taken the lead. It wasn't that far away, so we'll have a look. As you can see, Racer Brown just gets the better momentum coming out of that corner and just makes easy pickings of the Irish pilot. And there we go. Electric just... There we go, sticks into the toe. Maybe he can have a go coming down into the next corner. But no, Racer Brown has it covered off, and now Racer Brown. And oh no, has he spun again? Oh no, he's spun again! Oh, poor Racer Brown. He's going to be absolutely livid with himself as they all just go on by. Rido, the only one not able to. But now Rido may have a little bit of a playmate, and Racer Brown will be kicking himself. Another rare mistake from Racer Brown, but that means Electric now takes the lead with Pat into 2nd, but he's being hounded by the Baz. And can Baz make his way around? No, he just can't quite make it up for it. But Pat's gone wide a little bit, and there we go. Bazza makes light work for him, and there we go. He's now up into 2nd. Pat down to 3rd again, and Homesick Alien up into 4th. Where has that come from? Really making a lot of moves there, probably taking advantage of the calamity of Racer Brown's spin. And Racer Brown is now letting the championship run away from him, with Homesick Alien now taking a big chunk from Racer Brown's title hopes. And oh no, Homesick Alien spun as well. Whoa, oh my word, it is catching everybody out today. We thought Racer Brown getting caught by it twice was bad enough, but Homesick's been caught by it once. And Racer Brown must be counting his lucky stars. He's nearly got him in sight as well. So Electric, is this his moment? Is this his moment to shine, I wonder? Is he going to be able to look after those softs long enough, or is he going to pit at the right time and really put the hammer down? Bazza in 2nd as well. He'll be liking this a moment. Guesty is up into 3rd. Guesty now probably sniffing an opportunity to decrease that gap to himself and Racer Brown. And Homesick Alien, he must be thinking it's his time. He has to do it now or never, or is the track going to catch him out as well? We've got Pat in 4th, doing quite well in 4th. Is he going to be helmet off for 4th? Let's touch some wood. It's looking like I've got vinyl flooring because I can keep tapping this. hopefully Pat will get a good result out of it. Big Dan up to 5th as well. We're having a good time with the front runners dropping down. He'll be happy with this, but maybe not so much that Bazza's running away at the moment. Mrs. Guesty in 6th, being hounded by Homesick Alien as he's managed to make his way past Perchon already. Perchon dropping down to 8th, who has got a fast approaching Racer Brown, who's managed to pull a gap between it, and who's back there? That's Kale. Kale must have dropped as well. Maybe that's where the position gains have come from Kale maybe having a small mistake that lap. But it now means that Rito has a playmate and somebody to race with. Meanwhile, Electric doing okay so far. Hit that vinyl flooring again. There we go. And Guesty's now up into 2nd. This is definitely the opportunity that Guesty needs. But Bazza's definitely comes up. Pat's dropped down to 4th. So Pat must have made a small mistake, maybe. I could be wrong. But I'm sure he was in 2nd before, so Guesty up to 2nd, but he is being hounded by the Belgian Bullet. And can Bazza bring the fight to Guesty, I wonder? Big Dan's still in 5th. It all seems to be all settling down at the moment. This appears to be the best fight on track at the moment. So we'll stick with it as the sun continues to set in the French countryside. Or is it coming back up again? It looks like it's trying to get up again. Oh no, Bazza! Oh, poor Bazza. I do apologise for that, but this race 2 is definitely catching everybody else out. That's at least 4 people that corner's caught out. And who's going to be the next to suffer that corner's wrath? I think maybe we need a nickname for that corner. We call it the Corner of Champions, and Bazza has spun again. Oh no, poor Bazza. This isn't what he needs. And he must be absolutely livid with himself. As we can see that Racer Brown is... I thought he was being hounded by Mrs. Guesty, but it must have been a move between himself and Mrs. Guesty. Racer Brown now up to 6th. Homesick Alien still in 5th. There's a bit of a gap between them, but maybe he's able to decrease that. But we'll move back to the front as we can see Big Dan now on the back of Pat, should I say. So can Pat soak up this pressure from Big Dan and Homesick Alien, I wonder? Pat's no stranger to having this sort of pressure on him, but I wonder if there's going to be a buckling point. But so far Guesty, who has just taken the fastest lap with a 2:06, but so far isn't able to catch up Electric. Electric holding his own at the moment in 1st. Can he soak up this pressure from Guesty, I wonder? But meanwhile, we'll get as Big Dan has moved up into 3rd, has overtaken Pat, and Homesick Alien also having a look at the Pat Star, and he's going round the outside. Pat making him work for it, but now Homesick Alien has the inside, and there we go. Job done. Pat not putting up much of a fight, but he probably knows. Is that Big Dan spinning? No, Big Dan's managed to avoid the spin that has caught everybody out in this. Most people in this race so far. He's managed to hold on quite well, but now he's being hounded by the Homesick of Aliens, and it's Homesick Alien able to get it on the inside, and there we go. Homesick Alien now up into 3rd. It can now begin chasing down Guesty, but our pit stop's going to play a part in this race. I've just seen up front, there is Guesty now catching up with Electric going wide, the tyre screaming for mercy, and Guesty can't quite take advantage of it, so Electric maintains 1st for now. All this scrapping that Guesty's having is making Homesick Alien catch up, but now he's having a look on the outside. Electric making him work for it, but so far Electric putting up A grand defence, and Guesty now has to try again, but he's going to have to make a move soon because Homesick Alien is approaching and at warp speed, and he's bringing along some friends, but Electric still holding off quite well. Is he able to hold them off for longer? As we can see, Homesick Alien is really catching him up. He's bringing Big Dan, who's going into the pits. We've got Pat going by, Racer Brown's going to go by. And is this a good call now by Big Dan? Is he going to put on the mediums, or is he going to go to another set of Mitchy softies? I wonder. Out he comes, and yes, it is in the softs. He's dropped down to 8 at the moment. He's now got Kale stuck. Kale right behind him. Kale probably been wanting to get past Big Dan as quick as he can, but he's got the toys. But Kale has the speed. As we see up front, Electric is still being hounded by Guesty, and Homesick Alien is now in the party and in the fight. So this is the battle of the podiums at the moment, and Guesty now having to go from attack mode to defense mode, attacking Electric, but having to defend from Homesick Alien. We'll keep with these guys for the time being because this is going to get juicy, and that's Electric going too deep, and Guesty takes advantage of it, but is Homesick Alien going to be able to take advantage of it, I wonder? Ooh, he's having to go around the long way. Guesty on the inside, is Homesick unable to take advantage of it, and there we go. Guesty and Homesick Alien moving up to first and second, and now Homesick Alien can get the attack on Guesty. Guesty now having to go into defence mode to defence that lead. It's gone wide a little bit coming out of that corner, but they are now starting to leave Electric behind, who's used the front left softs already, so he'll be coming into pit anytime soon. And Pat's still holding off in fourth, doing quite well. I wonder if he's going to be pitting this lap with those worn tyres. Managed to get them to 12 minutes, maybe another lap out of it, and he will be fine. And Electric carries on, and so does Pat. I think it's the right call for Pat, maybe not for Electric, or maybe he's just waiting for the timer to go further to help him get to the end of the race. We've got Racer Brown in 5th, still playing catch up after that early spin. He spun twice as well, didn't he? So he's had 2 early spins. He's done well to regain up to 5th, and he's now hounding Pat. So is he going to make light work of the Pat Star, I wonder? Let's just having a look on the inside. Pat's maintaining 4th and soaking up that pressure from Racer Brown. We've got Perchon in 6th. We haven't seen these for quite a while. Perchon having his indicator on, not quite sure what all that one's about. Maybe he's just flicked it on by accident, I wonder. Big Dan in 7th. As we've seen, he has pitted. So Big Dan wanting to use as much of those tyres as he possibly can to help him get up. But he's got a long way to go to make those softs last. Kale in 8th as well. Still on the mediums. He's used half of his grip, so he's still got quite a bit of meat left on them. I wonder if he's going to pit this race, I wonder. This is Guesty in 9th. He's done well to recover. Bazza as well with that unfortunate spin. He was fighting it out for the podium, and you've got to feel for Bazza. He was on it, he's just dropped it at the wrong time, and Rido's been playing catch up since lap 1. But we're just using this as a good test session for now. Get a bit of practice in. Why not, mate? Still going to get points at the end of the day. That is what's important. But meanwhile, at the front, we see that Guesty and Homesick Alien are still having the battle of titans in one form or another. And Guesty still holding off. And there we go. Homesick Alien pits in. They're all pitting in. Racer Brown pits. Pat pits. Is Electric going to pit? No, he does not. He carries on. Well, that is interesting, and Big Dan is up into 3rd. So the early pit stop really paying dividends for now, but later on in the race, is it going to come back and bite him? Kale gets past him as well, as is Mrs. Guesty. Homesick Alien and Racer Brown I think Racer Brown. Yeah, Racer Brown was ahead of Pat before the entrance of the pit. Bassett goes in as well, so they're all coming in this lap. That's roughly around a good time, but can he make the softs last that long? So, well, the plot thickens. Mrs. Guesty in 7th. She's done well to look after those softs for the time being, but she won't have the grit to put up much of a fight of Racer Brown. I wonder if she's just going to lay him by, not really put some of a fight. She's got her own fights to worry about, but no, she is making him work for it. And as we see, Racer Brown having a look on the outside, unable to make it work. And all this time, Homesick Alien is stretching out that little gap between himself and is that Racer Brown? No, it wasn't. That was Homesick Alien having a look on Perchon. So there we go. He makes his way past Perchon. He's now got Kale in front of him, and I have a good feeling that Homesick Alien is going to make light work of Kale. He's on the worn median, so he won't be able to put up much of a fight. Big Electric's still on those walls, but coming up to the pits. I wonder if he's going to pit in this lap, because he's not going to last much longer at this rate. Big Dan up into 2nd. The surprise out of nowhere. The early pit stop taking advantage. Big Dan. But the question is his softs going to last another 13.5 minutes? I wonder. I don't think it will. And is Guesty going to pit to cover off Homesick Alien? There we go. He goes in, that front left completely worn out. And where is Homesick Alien? Because he was the benchmark. And there we go. And there we go. Guesty, Electric, and Kale all pitting, and Perchon as well. And as we can see, is Homesick Alien is now in net first. And Guesty's come out in the same place as Racer Brown, so Guesty has really been punished for it for all the time being, but come at the end of the race, he's going to be the one with the fresher tyres unless they pit again. As we did see in race 1, some drivers did pit twice, so it's not completely off the cards, and Guesty having a look on the inside of Racer Brown, not able to pull it off. He's having a look on the inside again. He wants to be careful in that corner. That's where we've seen most of the guys and girl, should I say. Well, Mrs. Guesty hasn't spun round there, but can't forget that she is in this, and Guesty is now overtaken Racer Brown. So there we go, the fresher tyres making difference for the time being. Maybe Racer Brown's just looking after those softs a little bit. They are about a lap or two older. I think it's only 1 lap. Yeah, they're 1 lap older, so just looking after them a little bit. Maybe let Guesty warn his out a little bit. But so far at the moment, Big Dan is leading, but I have a feeling he might have to pit again, or he may pit again for another fresher softs, but I may think he might be able to keep them going for a time being. Just got over 12 minutes left, and he seems to be holding his own at the moment. But the question is Homesick going to be able to catch him in time? One would put an easy bet on it being yes. He has got the fresher tyres. He did pit earlier, so Big Dan will wear his out a lot longer. We do know he can go through a set of tyres. Maybe he's found a way to curb that somehow. I do wonder. Racer Brown now up to 3rd. Where has Guesty gone? Guesty has dropped to 5th. As we see, he's got damage on the rear spoiler and rear right suspension. They've gone away now, so he must have had a spin in that previous lap. And Guesty now down to 6th. He's behind Electric now, who has pitted for the softs. I've lost track of everybody with the tyres at this rate. They all pit at once and can't keep track of them all. So we'll have a good look run through as they are. So at the moment, Big Dan currently leading the race, but I'm not quite sure how long that is going to be for, because I think he may have to pit again. Homesick Alien, who I'm putting my money on, is net first, who has the current fastest lap at the moment with a 2:06. Got Racer Brown in 3rd. He'll be pleased with this, but not too much that his championship rival is still getting another one ahead of him. We've got Pat still running in 4th, doing incredibly well. I Well, we'll have to touch the wooden floor again because we hope that Pat will do well. We often hope he does, and he's doing well so far. Let's hit that floor. There we go. Electric is in 5th, but he's being hounded by the Guesty. Must be a bit kicking himself after that spin in the previous lap. We've got Perchon running well in 7th. We've got Kale in 8th. Not doing as well as he did in race 1, but maybe he'll be able to make his way back from it. Mrs. Guesty in 9th. I'm sure she'll be quite pleased with this result as well. And we've lost somebody. Who have we lost? Because Basil wasn't. Because there was 11. Who have we lost? Oh, it must be Rido. Yeah, Rido, because I don't see Rido anywhere. So Rido probably called timeout. He's probably that because he was that far away from putting it. And there we go. Big Dan has had to pit again. So the guess was right. And as we know, Homesick Alien now taking the lead of the race. Racer Brown in 2nd. Pat moves up into 3rd. Where is Big Dan in this? He's finally been released. He's side by side with Pat, and there we go. Pat now up into 3rd, but we know that Big Dan is on the fresher tyres and is likely to make light work of the Pat. Maybe Pat won't put up much of a fight, as he may be wanting to save his tyres and think, well, I'll still be happy with 4th, or maybe he'll fight for the podium and make Dan work for it. Still have Electric in 5th, who's still being hounded by Guesty. Electric really showing his defensive driving skills, proving dividends, as Guesty can't seem to find a way past him. What an interesting race Electric has had so far. Oh, he's just made a small mistake in that corner, and Electric has Guesty is making him pay for it. And as I said it, Guesty has found a chink in the Electric armour and now moves up into 5th, but he's gone deep as well. Guesty going deep on there. He's coming on the cutback. Is he going to be able to get the momentum out of the corner? No, he cannot. So Electric goes in onto the inside, holding off in 5th, and he's managed to make that corner work for him. It's been his Achilles heel this race, and it looks like kind of like Guesty was wall riding there, but I didn't see any sparks, so obviously he really did not. Might have just been a small little blip, I don't know, but Electric struggling to get out of that corner. Guesty's having to go around the outside, and Guesty's still, oh no, he's saying that he's ahead of Electric for now, but I don't know what the gap is. They're side by side coming down to this tricky chicane, and there we go. Guesty now up into 5th. As we can see, Big Dan has gotten past should we try that again? We have seen that Dan has now gotten past Pat. I finally managed to say it. Broken English there, anybody? So Dan can now do his best to make a buffer between himself and Guesty, because we know Guesty can be quick. Now Big Dan has the fresher tyres. Is Guesty going to be able to keep up with Big Dan? He still has to get past Pat as well, who is doing... Nope, I'm not going to say it because otherwise it will break. We've got Electric. There we go. In 6th, doing well. It's not letting Guesty get away with him completely, so he's doing his own to keep up with him at the moment. We've still got Perchon running in 7th. We've got Mrs. Guesty up into 8th. We've got Bazza in 9th. And oh no, Kale's dropped. What's happened to Kale? Was it maybe... Did he pit? No, he hasn't. He couldn't have pitted in lap 10, because I don't think anybody can use softs that quickly. So maybe it was some smart... Maybe Kale had a spin in lap 9 and 10. I don't know. We'll have to ask those ones later. But so far at the moment, it's all been Homesick Aliens race. You got the pole. You got race 1 win. You got the fastest lap. He's currently in the lead at the moment with the fastest lap, so it looks like Homesick Alien is going to take maximum points from this race. Racer Brown can't make any effort against the Homesick Alien onslaught. think second might be the best that he can get today, but there are also other races. Maybe he's hoping that Homesick will burn his tyres out a little bit quicker than him and come back at him at the dead of the race, I wonder. Big Dan in third is going to be absolutely loving this if he can keep it pointing in the right direction. Podium would do great for him in his championship fight with Bazza, who is down in 8th. Pat's still holding up in 4th, but he's now about to be hounded by the guest. And is Guesty going to make easy work of Pat? And is Pat going to make light work of it? Or is it going to make him work hard for it? He'll be quite happy with 4th at the end of the day, but I don't think he's going to be able to keep up with the Guesty, but he's making Guesty fight for it, so Pat is going to fight for this 4th place. We've only got 4 minutes left. Can Pat hold on for the 4 minutes? I don't suspect he can, because Guesty is now looking on the outside. A bit of trade painting there, but it all seems fine. But Pat now has the inside of the corner, making Guesty go deep and having to work hard for it. But there we go. Guesty now moves up into 4th, and now Pat will have to defend from the electric onslaught. Is Pat going to be able to hold off electric long enough? They're on similar tyre conditions at the moment. As we know, electric really can go through a set of softs on this course. So it's going to be a question of, can Pat hold off long enough for electric to burn off his tyres? Perchon all on his own at the moment, although Bazza's not all that far behind him. Maybe Bazza can get Perchon at the back end of this race and clinch 7th right at the end. We've got Guesty in, Mrs. Guesty should I say, in 9th, and Kale all on his Billy Bob down in 10th. We must have had another spin as well, because I'm sure the gap wasn't that big before. So it was the comeback in race 1, but it appears to have been the Achilles heel for him in race 2. So probably one for Kale to forget about and move on. So Homesick still maintaining the lead from Racer Brown. It looks like to be said and done for these two. Big Dan still in 3rd. I'm not quite sure if he is catching Racer Brown. I don't think he is, but I don't think he'll care either. He'll be happy with another podium. Guesty in 4th, pulling away from Pat, who is probably defending from electric at the moment. Let's have a look at the Irishman, even though we won't be able to see much of him because we are in the dark. See, he's just lining up Pat at the moment. Car 95. Having a look at car 4. Can't make his way through. Pat goes a little bit deep there. Is electric able to take advantage of it? We see the gap is closing and electric's having to go around the outside. And oh, there might have been a collision there as electric has gone off. I'm not quite sure how to call that one. That one's definitely probably going to be a trip to the stewards, because here comes Perchon and electric defending them. Oh, Perchon just squeezes his way through. I don't think electric will be happy with that one. But Perchon's gone deep. He's outbraked himself, and here comes electric, but he can't quite get the power down to get himself back in front of Perchon. Wondering if electric... Oh no, electric's now gone onto the grass. And there we go, Perchon now disappearing into the distance. So maybe it might be a trip to the stewards for electric on this one. I don't know. It's out of my court, so we will have to wait and see. But at the moment, everyone all in their own little places at the moment. Everyone seems to have calmed down a little bit. I think the closest we've got is back here between Perchon and electric and Mrs. Guesty. So we will stick with them for the time being, although I don't think make much headroom on themselves. There's Pat going wide a little bit. He doesn't want to be doing that much. And we're coming up to the final part, so it looks like this is going to be their final lap. I've only just noticed that the timer has now run out. So there we go. The checker flag will be dropped on this race, on this lap, should I say, for the final time. Nobody crossing the line just yet. I think they're all just calming themselves down now before we come to the race, just sticking their head down, not making any silly mistakes. But today is this man's day. Homesick Alien, as we said before, race 1 winner, got the pole, got the fastest lap, and now he's about to come home with a win. He did have a spin, but he's made a great recovery from it. He's now going to win race 2 with the fastest lap. So it is literally a one-man race for Homesick Alien. Maximum points. Well done, Homesick Alien. Racer Brown coming home in second. He'll be pleased with that one. Big Dan coming home in third. He'll definitely be pleased with that. Well done, Big Dan, third place. Guesty coming home in fourth. What could have been, but it just didn't quite work out for him in the end. But it's still going to be a good chunk of points for him in his championship battles. Fourth place, Guesty. Perchon coming home in fifth place. He'll be pleased with that. Well done, Perchon. Here comes Electric in sixth. There's Mrs. Guesty in seventh, and Pat's down in eighth. What happened to Pat? I won't. Bazza comes home in ninth, and our final pilot to cross the line is Kale for 10th. Well, I think it's liquid refreshment time. There we go. So the round goes to Homesick Alien, scoring maximum points, further extending his lead over Racer Brown in the championship. Racer Brown taking home second. Not the round for him today. He'll be pleased with the second to minimise the point deficit between himself and Homesick. But race 1 really didn't do him any favours. Big Dan in third. He'll be pleased with that one. It's another podium for him and another trophy for the cabinet. I wonder how long it'll be before he has to make an extension for it. Guesty coming home in fourth. I'm sure he'll be happy with that. Getting a good chunk of points, but his championship rivals just getting that more of a gap to him in first and second. I'm sure he'll still be third by the end of it. Perchon coming home in fifth with his teammate Rido unable to finish. Probably maybe just had enough for the day. Didn't think he'd make it up. I don't know. We've got Electric coming home in sixth. He was doing quite well at the start of it, but then just slowly started to drop out. Mrs. Guesty coming home in seventh. Pat, I will not ask, I won't ask, what on earth happened? You were in fourth. It looked solid. You can see he must have made a small mistake in that last lap. The pressure must have gotten to him. He was in fourth, but he's dropped down to eighth. He'll be absolutely gutted for that one. But, well, you know what I'm going to say. It's still going to be a good chunk of points for you at the end of the day. Bazza, that small mistake early on in the race, and then another one immediately afterwards really put him on the back foot, dropping him down to ninth, and Kale down in 10th, and he's just probably glad to have this one over with. So there we go, another round of the Renault Meganes done and dusted. Oh, apologies, probably didn't want to hear that. Well, what is going to be going on soon? Well, it is a Friday after all. We're that much closer to the weekend, guys. Woohoo! I can't cheer very loud because it's still, 6 o'clock in the morning? Yeah, so really can't do much, but Yes, coming up during the weekend, we're going to have more races from the WRX Challenge, our Subaru Isle of Man TT series. It's turning out to be quite a corker. Homesick Alien appears to be running away with it, but round 8, I think it is, or yes, round 8, we're going to be on the dirt. And who doesn't love a dirt race? I'm looking forward to that. And then possibly on the Sunday, I will be bringing you round 7 of the Megane Trophy, in which we are at the ever magnificent Spa de Francorchamps. So, one to look forward to. And I believe I could be wrong on this, I don't know, I'll probably get corrected for it, but we may be bringing you a very special race soon with our first team versus team race. I'm not quite sure when it is. I will have to ask the hierarchy on when that could be, but we are up against GTSV. I think it is a Belgium league set up by our one and only Koi Carp. I think it's also in a collaboration with Baza, who's currently racing in one of their leagues, as far as I'm aware. So it's going to be quite an interesting. Oh, and speak thy devil's name, and he appears. It is the Koi Carp in the chat, which says the 24th is the first race. So I am miles ahead of myself, as I am completely out of sync with everything in the universe. But then again, what do you expect with me to when I am a vampire? Oh, so Koi in the chat as well. Then again, the following Friday for race 2. So the 24th. Let's have a look on the 24th. So that will be a Friday in 2 weeks' time. So there we go. So I will be bringing you that shortly. So the weekend we'll have the WRX and another Renault Megane Trophy. And then on the 17th, we've got a corker. We've got the Bathurst 2.5 with our first ever triple category, in which we have the pros versus the pro amateurs against the amateurs, in which we have said, and I may have said before, but yes, thank you, Muddy in the chat saying the 2.5 hours well coming. Yes, that is coming. I can't do the qualifying, unfortunately, because of what I have planned, my works manager refused to give me the 2 Fridays off in a row. But I prioritise the race because the race is probably the more important one. But yes, that will be Friday the 17th. So make sure you keep tabs on that one. Then the 24th, we have the VRC versus GTSV or GTVS. I can't remember which way around it is already. I will have a look. There we go. GTSV. So that's another one to look forward to, which I will be bringing you a replay. Koi, please forget to remember to save the replay, please. And then following that one, if I can fit it all in between, we will be bringing you the brand new season 5 of the MTCC, the Manufacturers Touring Car Championship. One to look forward to. We've got Koi again, please bear with me. GTSV has the first race. Yeah, okay, so I'm guessing, GTSV will be sharing their replays as well, and I'm pretty sure somebody else will for me as well. Well, you know the score, Coy. So yeah, set that up, and I will be bringing it to you. So that brings the end of this one. We do hope you have enjoyed it. If you've enjoyed listening to this blithering idiot for over an hour now, don't forget to hit like and subscribe and get that bell on as well, so you'll never miss any of the action that we bring you here at the Virtual Racers Club, because we have got a lot coming. It was a bit of a slow start for us for the year, but now we're coming at you thick and fast with the cheap replacement right here. So I will leave you to the rest of your day. I hope you enjoy yourselves. Happy weekend, everybody, in which I will hopefully see you tomorrow when I bring the WRX Challenge, in which I will be your broadcaster and commentator. Insert hilarious names here. And I haven't got a joke loaded for you because I've completed forgotten. That's how mushed my brain is today. I have had the longest day ever at work. Sacrifices must be made for what I am having to do. So I will just leave you as it is to enjoy the rest of your coffee and your breakfast to get yourself ready for the day's work. So I will say simply peace out and enjoy the rest of your day and have fun. Ta-ra.